on now, you can't even do this. Look.
What's happening? Okay, we back riding and smoking, man. We got some new guests in here. We got my boy Mace up in the building. Say what's happening, Mace.
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
And we got my guy
Bram,
Bram.
Bram Goodwin in the Haight. I'm a Haight resident, by the way. We're in the Haight, and I'm a Haight resident.
That's the king of hate right there. Yeah, we got my guy Bram in the building. So Bram, tell us about yourself.
Well, first of all, I grew up in Boston, but I've been in San Francisco for 50 years. So I came in the 70s. So I think I have a pretty broad perspective, shall I say. And um, for basically 50 plus years, I've been a cannabis smoker starting in the 60s. And I'd like to state that, in my opinion, cannabis is medicine.
Yes, it is.
And I'm the media director of the San Francisco Brownie Mary Democratic Club. We're a organization that advocates for cannabis to become a normal part of our life, meaning it gets sold at stores. There are places for it to consume. Medicine is available to the people who use it as medicine. And so our organization has been, I think, at the forefront of trying to change the laws and making them more rational for both consumers and for businesses. And I'm thrilled that you guys are here.
Thank you. Thank you. So I guess tell us about Brownie Mary.
Brownie Mary herself. Brownie Mary was a woman who lived in San Francisco, and this goes back to I think she arrived. I think she came from somewhere else, but in the maybe the 50s.
Mhm.
And she was living here. She worked in a lot of restaurants. She cooked a lot, and she became friendly with some other activists. One, Dennis Perone, who lived in the Castro, who was a Vietnam War veteran and had come back. And while he was in Vietnam, not surprisingly, he smoked a lot of cannabis. And he liked it. And he realized that it was not this demon thing that people made it into. So when he got discharged back to San Francisco, or not back, but to San Francisco. He brought back with him in his duffel bag, if you can imagine, a couple of pounds, and he started distributing it, and Brownie Mary became part of his kind of crew. And when the AIDS epidemic came in the 80s, the first early drugs that could help people were very dirty and had a lot of side effects. And one of the things was nausea. So people were wasting away because even if the drugs worked, they couldn't put down any food. Brownie Mary, among others, Dennis Perone, they experimented with different things and they realized that cannabis was a great medicine for that because it developed a certain hunger and they were able to eat and survive. And it became part of the framework of the medical uh, part. And really, that, in my opinion, was the beginning of our modern cannabis movement as we know it today, were these pioneers in San Francisco. And eventually, they were able to pass a state law called 215, which allowed legally for stores to open, which they did in San Francisco, and for legal sales to medical patients. That meant you got a doctor's recommendation and you were considered a medical patient. So we're kind of the descendants of these activists, and we're carrying on the work.
So Sean, tell me, you was the one who spearheaded of getting him open.
Yep.
Tell us about that.
Okay, well, in 2016, we voters of California passed a law called Proposition 64, which allowed for stores to sell not only to medical patients, but to anyone over 21 years old, like other substances or other products. As part of that process, San Francisco set up what's called the Equity Program. And the Equity Program basically was set up to repair the war on drugs that particularly targeted Black and brown people, especially here in San Francisco. So you could become an equity verified applicant, which Sean Richard did, and you had an opportunity to either open a store, a retail store, but any kind of cannabis business. And then basically what it allowed was a preference, if you will, meaning they were given to the front of the line, first opportunity to open.
They're supposed to be.
It's supposed to be, thank you. And Sean, turns out, a longtime resident who I never bought from him, but did commerce right here on the street, let's just say. He and his partners were awarded the first new permit,
Okay.
which led to it opening. So it became legal everywhere in California, January 1st, 2018. They opened December 2019. And I was happy to testify for him and support him.
That's what. That's what's up. That's what's up. So you say you got legislations for Mary Brownie sale. You guys got some kind of legislation or something
So,
going?
thank you for asking. Cannabis is a regulated business, meaning the government has very strict rules, which I may say we disagree with.
Yes.
They act like cannabis is plutonium, meaning it's so deadly to people that they have to have all these very costly ways around it, which in the end, what it does is it just makes the product more expensive for the consumers and for the medical patients. And so we suffer from the stigma that's around it. So we want to encourage people to be involved because the point is our elected officials only listen when they know that people care about it. If nobody talks about it, guess what? They don't do anything. They don't. So we want to encourage people to be part of the process, like Sean was. And we were with Sean. It resulted in something positive, which Sean got to open the store. And it didn't happen by accident. It happened by a lot of hard work by him and many others yeah. And I want to encourage, this is really important to me, young people. I know in today's world how cynical you can be. Trust me, I'm an older person. I've had to live through a lot of this bullshit for all these years. I'm tired.
Right.
But we're still fighting and we will fight it. But we need young people to recognize that society doesn't move forward because they wake up one day and go, oh, you're right. No way. No fucking way. It takes us bringing the truth right to them. And that's part of what our organization does, and a lot of the activists do. We engage with the politicians, we show them the facts, and slowly but surely, I think we've created a better political environment.
So can I ask? So
Come on now, you can't even do this. Look.